So in this section we are going to learn about perceptron in machine learning. Okay, so we all know the machine learning, it is an artificial based learning technique. The perceptron is understood as an artificial neuron or neural network units that helps to detect certain input data computations in business intelligence. So perceptron model is also treated as one of the best and simplest types of artificial neural network. However, it is a supervised learning algorithm of binary classifiers. Hence, we can consider it as a single layer neural network with four main parameters, that is input values, weights, bias, net sum, and an activation function. Okay, so here in this diagram you can able to see the perceptron architecture. You'll be having the inputs and biases, then weights are assigned for each biases and inputs, and the next activation functions is summation is calculated, and finally is given to the activation function. It will be step activation function, sigmoid activation function, or whatever it may be, and finally the output will be generated from this. So input node, it is the primary component of the perceptron. Accepts the initial data, and weights and biases are the things which connects the two units, that is the activation function and the input layer. And the activation function, it will be the sign activation function, step activation function, or it will be sigmoid activation function. So in these activation functions are used in this perceptron rule for the calculation of the output. So here the output is compared with the input, that is, if the error value is greater, the output is compared with the inputs and the weights are adjusted based on that. So the adjustment of weight is based on this mathematical expression. So the perceptron is classified mainly into two types. One is single layer perceptron and another one is the multi-layer perceptron. Okay, so the multi-layer perceptron will be having some forward stage and backward stage on more numbers compared to the single stage perceptron. Okay, so this is the multi-stage perceptron. Here will be having some hidden layers as the extra layer. Okay, and whereas in the single layer perceptron will not be having the hidden layer. It generally comes from the activation function. Output is generated directly from the activation function along with the input data. So this is the formulas and mathematical expression for calculating the new weights and biases. This is the algorithm for multi-layer perceptron. The advantages of the multi-layer perceptron is it can able to solve complex nonlinear problems. It can handle large amounts of invalid input data well, and the prediction is quicker and the accuracy is also higher. The disadvantages like this time consuming process, and the output, the functioning depends upon the quality of the training. So these are the disadvantages of the multi-layer perceptron. Okay, so these are the activation functions we are mainly using, that is step, unit step, etc. Sigmoid activation function, linear activation function, and hyperbolic activation function, and RELU activation function. So these are the activation functions we'll be using in this perceptron layer network. So that's all about perceptron. Thank you.